Next up is Joseph. Come back up one more time. No, just is Julianna, pardon me. And the title of Julianna's project is Cultivating Community Health Through Nature, an Eco-Social Occupational Therapy Initiative in Detroit.
All right, hello everyone. Obviously I'm Julianna Cataldo, as that's where we're going. Brenner just stated. And my capstone project is titled Cultivating Community Health Through Nature, an Eco-Social Occupational Therapy Initiative in Detroit. And so, first of all, I'm sick, so I'm sorry if I sound disgusting. But I want to start by telling you guys about how I found out about occupational therapy so long ago now. About 5 years ago, I was kind of just scrolling on the internet, and I found this organization that was providing nature-based interventions, OT interventions, to children with disabilities. I didn't know what OT was, but the other part sounded really cool. So I went there and I volunteered for about 2 weeks with this program, and I absolutely fell in love with everything that was happening. These kids were just out in the woods, playing in the dirt, splashing through the creeks, swinging on swings, playing games in the grass, like just being kids, having so much fun. Yet the whole time they were getting skill-based occupational therapy. And it wasn't until the OT actually told me what each skill was being addressed throughout this time that I understood how these kids were actually really benefiting from these services. But I was having a great time, they were having a great time, and so I was like, how can I do this throughout the rest of my career? And so it's kind of like a big full circle moment for me, because that's how I found out what OT was. And now I'm ending my school OT career by doing a capstone project that is focused on nature-based services. So I was lucky and I got to pair with an organization called Rescue Michigan Nature Now. And they're this nonprofit community-based organization located in Detroit, and they emphasize providing services that are community-based and support like connection through community individuals, and then like using only nature-based interventions to do that. So their focuses are on cultivating green zones and doing nature-centered educational programs. So just like to give you guys kind of an example of what that means, one big project that they've been working on is urban acupuncture, and that's where they go into abandoned alleyways in Detroit and they bring community members to come and renovate these green spaces. So not only are they beautiful, but people are able to use them, put up benches, just make them little spaces that community members can go to and enjoy. They do the same thing with verge gardening, where like the strips along a road, they're the ones who go and plant flowers and put benches and just make things pretty. And they do a ton of other things. They have honeybee programs where they teach kids how to harvest bees to get honey. And they have like a culinary youth studio where they bring kids in and they teach them how to grow some food and cook it all up and then able to sell it. So what this organization does is clearly amazing. But to me, in my OT lens, I felt like they were just missing one little thing, and that's what I wanted to bring to them. So kind of the basis of how I helped this organization is I used a theory called eco-social occupational therapy. And it's a pretty innovative and still emerging practice area in the United States. There's not a lot of research on it, but it's a type of OT where we're trying to do a community-based intervention by promoting the person's well-being as well as the environment. So basically we're focusing on ecology and social participation. So an example of this is just gardening in general. You're helping the environment because humans and the environment, their relationship is super important to continue longevity of our lives. So they have people engage in meaningful nature-based interventions that also promote the earth at the same time. So with Rescue Michigan Nature Now, I kind of brought this concept to them, and I took the programs that they already have, but I added in my own OT lens. So they're having individuals go out and grow materials, which is great, and then they're having them cook them, which is great. But to me, I wanted to connect every little thing and have it build a sustainable habit and routine for these individuals. So not only are they going to cook these or grow these things, they're going to learn how to meal plan to figure out what else they need to buy in order to make a meal. Then they're going to figure out how to cook it. But they also need to figure out how do they get from where they live to a store or a food pantry in order to be able to get those materials, and then to preserve them, and then how to sell them. So I wanted to take every little aspect and connect it. So they weren't just growing and cooking, they had like sustainable education to help them throughout their lifespan. So that was my first OT-based program that I created, and it was called the Habits and Routines program. I also created a youth life skills, so kind of like the same purpose, but it was working more on children's executive functioning and working on their understanding of money management, budgeting, just communication skills, just all the little things that they were doing but could be promoted a little bit better to help like a holistic aspect of them. And then one other thing that they really wanted me to focus on was an intergenerational program. So it was based on social participation, and it was just different ideas of how we could bring the youth from this organization and the elders together to create some form of social participation and bonds between them. Additionally, they really wanted to promote their organization. So for them, another deliverable I created was just different fundraising ideas, a flyer, and then a bunch of events that they could hold at their organization. And part of this, I learned what social prescribing was. And this is just a way for individuals to be referred non-medically to community-based organizations and just support their social participation. So for this, I created about a 50-page social prescribing toolkit that was educating individuals on what social prescribing was, how to implement it, how occupational therapy should be brought into it, and then how Rescue Michigan Nature Now fits it perfectly. So right now, social prescribing is done in the UK. It's not really done a ton in the United States. There's about one organization that runs out of California that's currently doing it, and there's one OT that works for them. So I was able to work with her to create an OT-based educational plan, an implementation plan that we could go out into the community of Detroit, connect with different stakeholders, and implement social prescribing. So I was able to pair with one organization where I went to them, I kind of taught them how to refer individuals to Rescue Michigan Nature Now. We have like a referral guide, and then like I'll be this main individual person who will use a referral guide and try to link them with programs that will best fit their needs. And something that OT brought into this is like I was able to holistically ask people different questions to ensure I encompassed their whole, like everything, their whole transactional model we OTs use. So that was something that was really important to me that I didn't expect my project to be so focused on, but I ended up really loving it. Another thing that I worked with this organization on doing is ensuring that they had ADA accessibility guidelines met. I went to their facility, and unfortunately, it wasn't accessible for any individual that had any disabilities. So I went through and I educated them on ADA accessibility guidelines. I provided them with additional grant opportunities to be able to apply to so they can support this funding. And then I also provided them with different pictures of how we could actually implement this with the program they already have. And then the last two things I really created for them was a yearly calendar that provided a bunch of grant applications and different events that are happening throughout Detroit that they can go and promote their business at, as well as all the grants deadlines that they can apply to easily. And then one other thing is I created a winter-based program for them. So it was like very OT-based, but my big challenge for this Capstone project is we had it during the months of January to April in Michigan, and I'm doing an outdoor nature-based program. So the implementation obviously wasn't all there, but I wanted them to be able to have like a year-round sustainability program. So I created 4 additional OT-based winter programs that will promote social participation and the environmental sustainability. And I think overall, my biggest takeaway from all of this is that I created something that, although I didn't get to fully implement it, it's all set up and can be implemented by anyone else. And I've already reached out to different organizations that will be coming in the next few years where these programs would perfectly fit for them. So although I didn't do as much in the exact moment, I created something that can continue to be used throughout the years. And that's it. Thanks. Questions? Dr. Preston.
Of course. Well, one of the things I love is that, you really highlighted the unique ways that you are moving the profession forward.
Mhm.
So you mentioned both using a new model, the eco-social model, and then social prescribing as a few different interventions that aren't really out there.
Yeah.
Do you feel confident upon completion of this program to take dissemination of that further than these walls? And if not, how could we support you to do that?
I honestly feel like I do. I was able to connect with a social prescribing expert, the OT in California, and then she also connected me with 6 other Capstone students in the United States that are doing similar projects. So I have this really supportive group of people that I can go to if I have any more questions or I need further implementation, because they were very just social prescribing focused, so they were able to implement their stuff, unlike me, because social prescribing came like after I did all the research.
So I'm going to suggest that the 6 of you get together and present at AOT, put in a proposal to present at AOTA next year.
Okay, you got it. I'll think about it.
Or write something, or do,
Yeah.
do something with it.
Thank you. Did you raise your hand? Oh, no? Yes.
I just really quick want to shed some light that Julianna had a very unique experience when she started her capstone, and I want everyone to give her a round of applause because she showed crazy leadership skills at the beginning of her What is one thing from those challenges that you learned about yourself or about, the profession or any barriers you might come across?
Well, I really learned that community-based interventions, especially in OT, are very hard to get a hold of people. Nobody really wants to answer you, which is challenging. So Dr. Renner had mentioned to me when I was reaching out to stakeholders, just reach out to everyone you possibly can and hopefully one will respond. That's what I did, and that was the only organization that I actually got to pair with. So don't be afraid to just ask everyone, because maybe one person will say yes. So it worked.
It works. You did a great job, Julianna. Wonderful.
I didn't even pass around my tools.